salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalahum bi ihsan ila yawmiddin wa ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the media unit of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Niger State Area Unit, presenting this yet another episode to you about the ethics and etiquettes of disagreement in the Sharia of Islam. As everybody knows, we are not bound to the same and similar understanding, and therefore, whenever we differ in our understanding, then there should be rules and regulations or a guide for how we disagree and agree. This episode, inshallah, will mention about 15 to 16 items briefly on the manners in which a Muslim, especially the learned Muslims, should follow and abide with whenever he differs or somebody differs with him. First of all, when someone differs with you about a matter of religion, the first thing you should consider, and that thing should be first and foremost, is that if you want to argue with the person, if you want to disagree with the person, is that matter, that issue that you are disagreeing with him or is disagreeing with you worth argument? Just critically look at it so that you shouldn't end up wasting your time. Is the matter worth argument? Then if the matter worth argument, then the second thing you should consider is make sure you are doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is number two. Prefer your intention that I am doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am not doing it for myself, no selfishness in it or no self-centeredness in it. I'm doing it for the religion of Allah because the religion belongs to Allah, not you. You are only representing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the heart. So you should do whatever you want to do in this religion in Allah's instruction and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Number three, avoid condemnation. Don't condemn someone because he differs with you. Don't destroy someone's personality because he differs with you. Make sure that whatever you want to do, you shouldn't condemn him. Don't condemn his view totally, except if that view has already been condemned by our previous predecessors from among the Sahaba of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are students, they are student of their students. Otherwise, don't condemn the person. Just say your own view and then leave him. Anyone who believes should take it. Anyone who doesn't should leave it. Initially, the religion of Islam is not by force. La ikraha fi din. There shouldn't be compulsion in this religion of Islam. That is number three. Number four, don't take it personal. Your disagreement with your brother or a scholar like you, don't take it personal. It is not a personal issue, it's a religious issue. Religion and the religion of Allah which we are discussing belongs to Allah the Almighty alone. We are only representing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the heart. So don't take it personal. It is not a personal issue that you have to personalize. And don't allow your own personal attitude to come into the disagreement between you and your brother or your sister. No, some people are narrow-minded people by nature. So put out this narrow-mindedness in you when you come to disagree. You are now discussing the matter of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some people are too loose in their nature. So put away or keep away this looseness in you when you come to disagree with someone about the religion or matters that has to do with the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take it very serious. Don't take it personal. Then number 5, Present your evidence. Present your evidence from Quran and Sunnah, which are the basics, and tell people why they should agree with your own view. And don't force anybody. Tell people why they should agree with your own view. The view you have presented, you have quoted verses of the Quran, and you have quoted a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. You quoted assertions from the scholars of Islam, non-scholars of Islam, isn't it? And okay, continue telling people why your own view is the best, and don't compel anybody to agree with it, and don't condemn. That is number 5. Number 6, avoid mentioning names. Avoid mentioning names to the best of your ability. Someone agrees with you or disagrees with you, avoid mentioning his names. That so and so person is doing so and so thing, or so and so person is doing so and so thing. Don't just focus your own evidence and present them critically to the audience. Don't mention name. Any person who differs with you knows that he differs with you, and any person who agrees with you also knows that. So avoid mentioning name to the best of your ability. Number 7, don't insult anybody. Insult no one. Insult is even forbidden in the religion of Islam, especially for scholars, or generally for Muslims is forbidden. But if it comes to the tongues of the scholars, gaskiya, the magnitude of the unlawfulness of insult is more than an ordinary person. Is more than that of an ordinary person. So scholars shouldn't abuse anybody. Don't insult anybody because he differs with you. Remember, the person has no problem with your personality, and you have no problem with his own personality. The issue you have is just the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you differ in this matter. So discuss the matter and not the personality. And anywhere you see the person, or you happen to jam with the person, make sure you relate with him as a Muslim, because the person is a Muslim like you, and his personality, his dignity has nothing to do with your differences. Take this very serious, my brothers and my sisters. Number 8, make sure that you mention the strengths of the person who commits mistake, and you are differing with him before you begin to mention his weaknesses. Make sure that you start with his strengths and before you mention the weaknesses. Here we have a lot of problem to solve, my brothers and my sisters. You see a scholar preaching for complete 1 year, for complete 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But whenever he commits one mistake, then people will forget about all these good things he has been doing. And the next thing is to condemn him. Condemning him to the extent that people who do not know him will begin to see him as a nobody. Don't do that. In the etiquettes, in the Sharia of Islam, and also even in the modern way or in the modern literatures, before you condemn someone, you must give out the strength of the person. You must mention the person's dignity, so that people know him very well, and they know that the issue you want to differ with him is not a personal one, and you are not insulting him. Let us copy from scholars like Sheikh Abdulaziz ibn Abdullah ibn Baz, when it differs with Sheikh Nasruddin al-Albani, and al-Albani himself, when he differs with Bin Baz and others. You see Albani saying a lot of good words about Sheikh Bin Baz, that he is one of the most intelligent people, most learned people he has ever seen. He has done that, he's doing this, but here I disagree with him. The same thing to Sheikh Bin Baz himself. Bin Baz said in one of his books, Thalath Rasail, when he was differing with Nasruddin al-Albani about the issue of performing Salat Tarawih more than 11 rakah, and other issues of qabdu, placing your hand on the chest when you are performing salat, when you raise from the ruku. Bin Baz said a lot of things confirming the knowledge of Nasiruddin al-Albani, to the extent that he said that Albani is one of the most learned scholars that exist in the world that day. But at the end of the day, after he has mentioned all his strengths, he now said that, but in these matters, I disagree with him. And now he presents his own evidence, and he didn't insult him. That is how you are expected to do yourself. Then number 9, let the knowledge speak for you. Not the knowledge, let the knowledge speak for you. Don't allow your personality or your anger or your annoyance to overtake you. Let knowledge speak for you. You differ with him. Then what are you going to convince the people? Or what are you going to use to convince the people that your view is the most authentic? Then let the knowledge speak for you. Cut from the Quran according to the teachings of the Sahaba and their students. Cut from Hadith according to the interpretations of the pious predecessors. Let knowledge speak. Don't use your own personal judgment, and don't use the conflict or issues you have with that person or those people, and then you use it to judge these differences. No. Even if the person is not in good time with you, or you are not in good time with the person, make sure that you do justice in any difference that comes between you and him, especially if that issue is about the religion of Islam. Allah says in the glorious Quran that وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا, and you should not allow the hatred of a people to disallow you from dealing with them justly. Deal with them justly, even if the person is having some issues with you. Number 10, make sure that you understand the person you are differing with. Understand what his point is about. Listen to him critically and free up your mind. Free your mind. Zero your mind and listen to him. Make sure, don't forget that you are dealing with the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not with worldly matters. So free your mind. Listen to the person. Make sure you understand his point correctly, and then you will know from there whether you differ with him or he differs with you or not. And then if you want to differ with him, or if your own view is not the same with him, then you can now write your own rejoinder, or you can say your own rejoinder, applying all the manners we have mentioned. That is point number 10. Then point number 11, avoid saying so and so. Don't be discussing issues and then you say that this issue has been concluded, or this issue doesn't exist, or what you said, no one has ever said it in the world, or this issue you are discussing, and this is not what the Salaf Salih said. What is expected of you as a scholar today, or as a student of knowledge today, is that I'm not aware of any contrary view. Don't say there is no contrary view. I'm not aware of any contrary view. You have then restricted your knowledge and leave the remaining one for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But by the time you begin to say that on this issue, or on so and so issue, no Salaf Salih has ever uttered it like that. No Salaf Salih has ever did it like that. You have taken yourself as an epitome of knowledge. You have taken yourself as someone who has the bank of knowledge. But just said, I'm not aware of any difference. Or this statement you mentioned, I'm not aware that there is any scholar that said the same thing with you. It's possible that someone says it somewhere and you don't know. So it should be part of things we should understand. Number 12, prove no elements of hatred when you are differing with the person. Then make sure that no element of hatred appears in your argument or in your differences. As you are presenting your evidence, or is presenting his evidence to you, make sure that element of hatred is not seen in it. If element of hatred is seen in it, it means that you have taken it personal. It's no more for Allah's sake again. You have taken it personal, and if it is personal, then Satan can come in and destroy it. At the end of the day, you see that the person will even realize that he has committed mistake, or he has also realized that he has committed mistake, but Satan will not allow him to agree with you, because you have shown the person that you hate him, you don't like him at all. So make sure that you do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 12, make sure that your proofs, your evidence are based on the Quran and Sunnah according to the understanding of the pious predecessors. We have mentioned this earlier. Make sure that your proofs are based on this. Any person who wants to say something should make sure that he says it based on this basis. Number 13, this issue you are discussing, I told you earlier that is in Allah's religion, and the religion belongs to Allah. Therefore, calm down, stay calm, and don't be upset. Stay calm. Religion is not your property, it's the property of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So calm down and discuss issue amicably. Listen to him very well. If there is anywhere he agrees with you, then say that here we agree with one another. If there is any place that he doesn't, then if you differ with him, then present your own differences and why you are differing with him, and make sure that you inform him that you do not hate him, you do not get any issue or grudges with him, but it's just this matter that you have what you didn't share in common with him. That is what is expected of you. Stay calm. Are you okay? And then number 14, carefully select your words, the words that you use, and that tend to discuss any matter of difference between you and your Muslim brother or your Muslim sister. And select your dictions very well. Don't talk roughly. Don't talk as if you are forgetting that you are representing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the heart. Don't avoid mentioning things that people will begin to see that people will be diverted from seeing your evidence and to other things else. Make sure that you control people on evidence, and all this evidence should be based on the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to the understanding of our pious predecessors. Avoid saying to someone who commits mistake that fear Allah, you will meet Allah in the day of Qiyamah. No, just give him benefit of doubt that he is saying that for the sake of Allah, and that is the best he could see by then, and that evidence he has presented is the most authentic to him. Avoid saying that they are saying all this to me out of jealous and envy. No, don't divert the people. Take them towards the direction of evidence and prove that your assertion is the best, and make sure you convince them that what you said is the right thing. Are you okay? Don't divert people. Don't say fear Allah. All this you are saying, Allah is looking at you. No, if you say this, in fact, you upset your opponent. Even if such thing is said to you, will you be happy? You will not be happy. So since you will not be happy, don't say it to anybody. That is what I mean by don't divert. Don't divert people's attention. Make sure that evidence anywhere you want to divert them to should be based on the Kitab and Sunnah according to the interpretation of the Salaf Salih. Don't use your own whims and caprices. Don't use your own minds. Your mindset has nothing to do with the religion of Islam. Keep it aside. Make sure no grudges happen between you, and even if there's grudges, that grudges shouldn't say and shouldn't surface in the matter you differ with your brother and with your sister. And then finally, do what the psychologists may say shared reality. What do they mean by shared reality? There are many things that you may share in common with the person you differ with. It's only 2, 3, 4, 5 matters, or highest 10, 15, 20 matters that you differ with him. There are about 80 matters that you have in common. So talk about this shared reality in the first lines of your comments before you start the argument, or before you start presenting your proofs that you are the person that have the right view. This shared reality is very important. When you begin to mention this, that we have this in common, for example, is a Muslim like me, is knowledgeable person, I know him, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this, and he's doing that, he prays salat as I do, he fasts as I do, he has oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as I do, he doesn't ascribe any partner to Allah to the best of my knowledge, he is doing that, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing that. You mention all the things that you shared in common, that is shared reality. And then at the end you now say that, but in this matter, I differ with him based on the following reasons. Even the person will know that you are not taking him as an enemy, and you are not here to condemn him. You are not showing any hatred. There is no any grudges between you and him. You are not only seeing this matter from the point, or from the direction where he's seeing it. This is little I have for you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala